Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to the AI Research Roundup. I'm your host Alex, and today is May 6, 2025. We're diving into an interesting ICLR conference paper today, published just over 3 months ago on January 22nd, titled Exploring the Loss Landscape of Regularized Neural Networks via Convex Duality. This paper essentially uses, convex duality, a neat mathematical tool, to better understand why training certain neural networks, especially regularized ones with ReLU activations, actually works despite their complexity. Okay, so this first figure really helps visualize one of the core findings. They call it the staircase of connectivity. It illustrates how the set of optimal solutions changes topologically as you increase the network width M. You start with isolated solutions, shown as red dots, at a minimal width M, but as M grows past critical thresholds, connected blue regions emerge, eventually leading to a single connected set for sufficient width. Building on that idea, this figure 2, visually demonstrates that staircase effect for a toy example. You see the loss landscape evolve on top as width M goes from 1 to 3. Below that, it shows the actual optimal functions. Notice how at M equals 1, we have isolated red stars, but by M equals 3, there's a blue continuum, a connected path between optimal solutions, just like the theory predicts. Okay, shifting gears slightly. Figure 3 explores the uniqueness of solutions, particularly for minimum norm interpolators. It presents a constructed case for n equals 5 data points where non-unique solutions exist. You see the underlying geometry in A, then panel B reveals a whole continuum of theoretically optimal interpolators. And importantly, C shows that gradient descent actually converges to different solutions in practice, confirming this non-uniqueness predicted by the theory. Following up on that point about non-uniqueness in practice, Figure 5 shows the actual functions learned by gradient descent for that toy example, again for widths, M equals 3 and M equals 5. What's interesting is that even though we know theoretically there's a continuum of optimal solutions, gradient descent doesn't always find them. It sometimes gets stuck in local minima or finds different specific solutions within that optimal set, highlighting the practical complexities. Okay, so Figure 4 gives us another perspective on this loss landscape evolution, specifically with contour plots. Again, we see the landscape for widths, M equals 1, M equals 2, and M equals 3. It really emphasizes that staircase effect we discussed earlier. You start with a clear, isolated minimum, the red star at M equals 1, but by M equals 3, the optimal region, highlighted by that blue line, becomes connected. It's a nice visual confirmation. Right, so this next figure, Figure 8, gives us another concrete example related to solution uniqueness, specifically for minimum norm interpolators. It shows two distinct functions, these blue V-shaped surfaces, that both perfectly pass through the red data points. They both achieve the minimum norm, yet they're clearly different. One is just a rotation of the other. This visually reinforces the finding that optimal solutions aren't necessarily unique in these problems. So, wrapping things up, these examples really highlight the main takeaways. We saw how convex duality helps understand the staircase of connectivity, how optimal solutions link up as networks widen. And it reveals conditions where optimal solutions, like minimum norm interpolators, might not be unique, which we saw visually. It's a powerful framework for these complex problems. Alright, that's all for this AI Research Roundup. Thanks for tuning in.